You're watching the Isiah Factor Uncensored.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored, the second half this hour. From trying to keep the streets of Houston safe for all of us to dealing with the immediate response of catastrophes like the Astroworld tragedy, Houston Police Chief Troy Finner has seen a lot in his first year in charge. I sat down with him today as he looks back at the year that was and what's ahead.
And I said from the very first day, I would be intentional, and our agency would be intentional on identifying those individuals, the small percentage that are very violent, time and time again. We're going after those individuals. That hadn't stopped. We've made a lot of arrests, but it is a system. Mm-hmm. And it's very important that we don't blame and point fingers. Because everybody should have some skin in this game right now. And that's the only way we're going to dig ourselves out of this hole. Now, the backlog is a problem. And I'm not going to say it's not. It's well documented. But what's the cause of it? Nobody had to experience Hurricane Harvey like we did. And let me tell you what I'm talking about. It didn't wreck anybody else's criminal justice system. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, the criminal justice complex. It did. That was the start of the first backlog, so we're a couple of years ahead of it, and then COVID. So nobody, I just left Major City Chiefs up in Orlando. We were up there for 2 days, chiefs all around the nation. Nobody has the backlog that Houston has, but you can't look at it and say, well, throw your hands up and make excuses. It is what it is, mm-hmm. and we have to do something about it. We have to be intentional and getting individuals into trial. Fair trials, this is America, and I'm all for that. I'm part of the system, but we got to get them into trial. I'm not saying low-level, nonviolent people who need treatment, but we got to get individuals who present themselves as violent time after time again, get their butts in jail. And let me be
But
honest.
what about the problem we have seen with many of those individuals getting out on bond?
Let me tell you, and I want to answer that, but I want to answer this with this statement. I don't want people in Houston, Harris County to say they caught off guard or it's some big surprise. We need to increase our capacity in the county jails for those violent individuals that we picking up, okay? We have to do that. And I'm not blaming anybody, but we have to do what we have to do. Again, low-level, nonviolent, drug treatment, suffering from mental illness, let's divert them and get them the services that they need. And that's a part of the One Safe Houston funding that the mayor has set out. Let's do that. But a revolving door, what you're asking about, there has to be consequences. And if suspects feel that there's no consequences, they're going to continue to commit crimes. And we have to, as a county, everybody that's involved in this criminal justice system, make sure that you're intentional. Do what you have to do. Be responsible. Let's not give the bail bonding industry a pass. Are you kidding me? You're going to go from 10% what it's been traditionally to 2%, 3%, and in some cases setting up payment programs. Mm-hmm. Isiah, what are you doing? Are these individuals, are they gainfully employed? No, they're not. They're criminals. So if you set up a payment program and they get out and the judge has done the right thing and given proper bond, and then we let them out and set them up, what are you saying? You're encouraging them to go out and do other crimes. Are they going to go to work and have a regular job? No, they're not. They're going to keep doing what they're doing, and then our communities suffer.
We have heard from members inside of that industry, the bail bond industry, who said there's only a small percentage of bail bondsmen who would go below 10%. Is it a rapid problem that you're seeing with the low bonds and less than 10%?
Let me answer your question by this. It's a small percentage of violent offenders who are committing the violent crimes, terrorizing the neighborhood. So they don't get a pass. Just like it's a small percentage of police officers who violate people's rights and do wrong things. We don't get a pass. They shouldn't get a pass right now.
When we talk about fighting crime, do you have everything you need, the resources, the funding that you need to make a difference, a true dent in crime.
No major city chief has everything what he or she needs, okay? But let me give some credit to Mayor Turner and our city council for giving us everything that they can at this moment. And I'm very appreciative, I meant to say, of that. We could always use more officers. We could always use more resources, but we're in tough times. And what I have to do as a police department, as a police chief, we have to be smart about our resources, make sure that we are having laser focus on those individuals, what I'm talking about, the ones who are committing most of our violent crimes. Go after them, those locations that's generating what we call hotspots, most of our violent crime. And they move around from time to time. We have to be smart about it. A data-driven enforcement and deployment. Make sure that we're doing those things, because just as I came up, just as you came up, times were hard, and you had to make every dollar count. That's how we have to do in the police department right now, and taxpayers, they deserve it.
Community policing, is that a thing of the past or still
Absolutely not. It cannot be a thing of the past. And when you see numbers going down, trending in the right direction, it's in partnership with our citizens, and I'm proud of them. I say it all the time, the spirit and the heart of not only our police officers, but the great majority of our great city. I'm proud of that, and we'll continue to work together. We have to be intentional as an agency to make sure that we are establishing and mending those great relationships that we have experienced over the years. You have to, when you're doing initiatives in certain areas, you better educate people, and you better talk to them with respect and explain things to them. And most of the times, people appreciate that. And I want to say thanks to the people in the neighborhoods of color, and putting the truth out there, and the message to our officers and everybody else. Don't let a few people cause a lot of negative noise when the great majority of our people in those neighborhoods love and support the police, and we're going to continue to work with them. And I'm just proud of that. When I talk to other chiefs around the nation, some of their experiences and their relationships or lack thereof with the public, we got great relationships here, but we shouldn't take it for granted as a police department, and I certainly don't take it for granted as a police chief. I'm going to do everything I can in being open, transparent, to keep those relationships strong. I was very proud of the policy, and thanks to the mayor for allowing it, releasing those body-worn cameras within 30 days. Any footage on our critical incidents, officer-involved shootings, release that, get that out. That builds trust in our community.
Now, you, like many of us, have seen loss of life of family members to gun violence. What does it do to you as police chief who's lost a family member to gun violence? What does it do to you seeing it and not being able to just stop it? And of course, Chief Finner's response after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. Before the break, we were talking with Houston Police Chief Troy Finner. I asked specifically about gun violence and how he's handling it, especially since he lost a family member of his own to it.
It hurts, okay? But I understand that there are some things that I can't control, but never give up on working with people. Take my experiences, my personal experiences of pain and losing loved ones in my own family to violence, and understand what people are going through, help them through those difficult moments, but stand strong with them and say, hey, no, not here in Houston. And we got some tough days. Okay, this backlog and all this, it's not gonna correct itself overnight. We're in a deep hole. We're gonna continue to dig ourselves out, and we do it together, but you give people hope. And you stand with people in their pain, as well as our law enforcement family. We lost two family members to law enforcement just in the last week, Harris County and Precinct 7. we're going to stand with them strong. And it hurts when it's the law enforcement family, but it hurts as well when it's any citizen that's losing or suffers a family to violence, and loses someone to violence. We all got to stand strong, Isaiah, and it's so important. Sometimes people lose hope when they feel that they're by themselves. Police, the criminal justice system, and everyday people. When somebody is suffering and going through their most difficult times, stick your hand in their family, stick your hand in their community, and just give them a hands up, okay?
Absolutely. Now, speaking of the two law enforcement, or at least one law enforcement officer that we lost here, another one was shot at this weekend, not specifically HPD, but it was as a result of catalytic converter thefts. Your thoughts on dealing and addressing that here in Houston?
I think it's a problem that we're going to have to look at statewide, okay? The mayor and I have had discussions on that and looking at different city ordinances that might help it. But if we crack down on it, you know, the sale of the catalytic converters because they're going after the precious metals inside, I wish we can ban all of that, all sales of it, okay? But if we crack down on it just in Houston, they're going to continue to steal in Houston and go where they can sell it. So it's something that we got to look at statewide and nationwide. I had chiefs in different states going through the same thing, but when somebody loses their life over a catalytic converter, a police officer or citizen, we got to bring an end to this. And you do need to cut into the demand side of it, because if there's no demand and no profit, the criminals are going to stop.
If you could magically snap your fingers to do one thing to address and fix crime, reduce crime in this city, what would that be? That seems unreachable to you.
I would snap my fingers and clear up the backlog so we can get to business as usual. And I would snap my finger to cut down on the negative noise and conflict of people pointing fingers, okay? If you're not part of the solution, sit down and shut up somewhere, okay? And I mean it. And that's the best that I can say it.
What keeps you still at this point passionate about this job?
Hey, let me tell you something. I love Houston, man. I love this department, and it's difficult. But it's not only difficult on me as the chief, our entire department, our whole city. But this is the beauty of tough times. If you handle it the right way, through your pain, through your suffering, you form better relationships and stronger relationships. When you come out on the other side, we're going to be a much stronger city. We are a proud city, a rich city with history, finances. We simply got to bring people together. And this is a great time to do that. But I caution people, this is not going to turn itself over overnight. It's going to be a process, and we got to get our relationships stronger. We got to find ways to work together more and help out our neighbors.
From the rank and file to the very top, Chief Fenner has been with HPD for 32 years, and his dedication to this city was more evident than ever. I asked him to grade himself on his performance, and he humbly gave himself a B+.